do you do when footage of your movie's trailer gets recorded on a smartphone, then recorded on a smartphone, then recorded on a smartphone, then released on TikTok? You wake up the next day and drop the real trailer anyway. What's going on, everybody? It's time for Nerdy for 30, the podcast where comedian Tim Keck and I nerd out about things that we have seen lately. Today, we're talking about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer with our good friend and great guest of the show. Should have said great friend and good guest on the show. You know, Spencer, you're everything to us. It's Spencer Pacer.
He's a better guest than a friend.
I was going to say I'd rather be a great guest and then a mediocre friend.
This is a business relationship first.
Yeah, this is business only. Yeah.
Big get, kept at arm's length.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be the resident MCU expert guest on the show anyways.
On a pod where we mostly talk about the MCU, so that's a pretty that's a pretty tall order. You just want to be the third host. Yeah, free guy factors heavily into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'll have you know, no spoilers, but it is a part indirectly of the MCU. Probably more so than any of these like what if bullshit cartoons that they've been hamming us with. Trailer.
But that's a podcast for another time.
We've been doing podcasts. We've been doing podcasts dedicated to like whole movies, and now we're doing one just dedicated to a trailer. I'm so excited about this movie. I want to start. I hate trailers. Can I say that? If I'm going to see a movie, I don't want to see a trailer. I don't want anything spoiled for me, because the first Spider-Man trailer, it ruined the ending of the Spider-Man movie for me, and I hated it. And I was like, fuck this, no trailers. But I got to tell you, this is a good trailer. This was a good trailer. If you guys are worried about spoilers, I don't think that much is getting spoiled. This is the rare trailer that's just all set up. It's like all set up and you're like, this is what it's going to be. And I don't think we know what the end is. I don't think we know how this is going to end. I don't think they've shown us any of like the last half of the movie. I'm excited for it. I think this is a great trailer, going to be a great movie.
So, Tim, just to confirm, would you say that the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer is the trailer that put you off of all trailers?
Yes. There's like that movie ends with him landing a plane in Coney Island, and that scene was in the trailer. And I remember seeing it in the movie and being like, okay, well, this can't be the end. There's like only 10 minutes left in the movie. This can't be the end. I've already seen this before. Why would they do that to me? Like, did we need to see Spider-Man landing a plane in order to convince us to go see this movie? I think not. But so in general, my rule is like, if I'm going to see it, I don't want to know anything about it. It's really fun to come into things not knowing anything about it. But when your friends are all want to talk about it, I gave in. I gave in on this. I watched it. I got theories. I'm excited about this movie. Spider-Man is one of my favorite MCU things. It's so good. I think Tom Holland's awesome. I think this universe they're creating is awesome. I'm anxious about this whole Doctor Strange bullshit, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. Spencer, what do you... Spencer's been like clamor. Spencer was like, we have to talk about the trailer. Spencer, you got a lot to get off your chest. What's on your mind, bud?
Oh my God. Well, I would agree. I agree that this trailer is fantastic in so many ways. It got me so hyped up. I'm feeling like I'm actually going to rewatch every previous Spider-Man, like from the Tobey Maguire years.
Yes.
Like leading up to this. And like, that's how hyped it has me. And then honestly, I just get more excited because one thing, it's now become, as you know, the most popular, most viewed trailer of all time in the first 24 hours, beating Avengers Endgame by like almost 100 million views. Like, I think it had 325 million views in 24 hours. That's wild. This is going to be a $1 billion movie without breaking a sweat, even in COVID time. And then Tom Holland, and everyone goes crazy. And then Tom Holland tweets, "This is the tip of the iceberg." And then the internet, this is my favorite part about the MCU, is the internet just goes nuts. And I have basically just been cruising my Instagram discovery section, highlighting posts that are like purely like Marvel conspiracy theories. I have a full section like dedicated just to Marvel conspiracy theories that are just fantastically all from like things that make sense to completely insane and ridiculous. For one example, people are positing that there's a Fantastic Four Easter egg in Spider-Man because of the way Tom Holland has his legs positioned while he's laying on the rooftop next to Zendaya's character in the beginning of the trailer. It's in the shape of a four.
Oh my God.
It's like Easter egg.
Jeez.
Easter egg for
Oh my
Fantastic
God.
Four. It makes me so, I love it so much. Oh, so yeah, we have lots to go through. And obviously, Kevin, you said you watched the trailer in slow motion and frame by frame.
Did you really?
I took the bite. Yeah, because, okay. So I, much like Spencer, since last Monday, my Instagram discovery has been exclusively Spider-Man. It is just entirely,
Completely
I keep
inundated.
feeding the algorithm. Anytime I click into like a fan art piece of casual Doctor Strange, it just gives me 12 more. And one of the things that I saw in my discovery feed is the idea that, obviously we saw Dr. Octopus in the trailer. Obviously we saw a pumpkin bomb it seems to be a Willem Dafoe pumpkin bomb.
Mm-hmm.
We saw electricity striking Jamie Foxx, but one of the more popular theories out there is that people are convinced that Sandman and the Lizard are also in this trailer.
Yes.
Mhm.
The Sandman one I can kind of see as far as that stuff goes, on the MCU radar of plausible stuff like Hulk being in Thor Ragnarok when they showed him in the trailer being in Thor Ragnarok. That's like a very plausible MCU conspiracy theory. And then the far end, the other way, is Mephisto in WandaVision, where everybody was convinced that Mephisto was going to show up. There was no Mephisto. So on the Hulk to Mephisto scale, Sandman, I feel like, is in the middle. We see the scenes in the trailer where there's like a bunch of sand swirling around. There's a couple moments where like giant things of like dust or sand get kicked up. I could see it. I love Thomas Hayden Church. I would love to see him coming back. The Lizard, though, is the one where they say it's like a blink and you miss it thing. There's like a portal open behind Peter and you kind of see something like grab at him or swipe at him. But it could be fucking anything. There's so many
literally anything. Yeah.
Dude, there's so many things where it's people
looking like a lizard and it's all over the internet.
People have like a screenshot of it and they're like, look, I cleaned up the screenshot and it's still completely dark, does not look like anything. And they're like, lizard confirmed.
Might have a tail or just two legs. There's no way to know.
Yeah.
So this part I think is interesting. It feels like they're prepping us for some type of a Sinister Six thing, which is something that's always been talked about with Spider-Man, is like Sinister Six. It's a staple of just like Spider-Man's villain menagerie comes together to take on Spider-Man. This is the perfect opportunity for that. They have an opportunity to do that like generationally, right? By the way, Spider-Man came out in 2002. Iron Man came out in 2008. So they've got 6 extra years of nostalgia that they're playing on with this movie, which is going to make it 6 years more powerful than Endgame. Just want to throw that out there. So
that's fair.
My concern with this, if at all, is that Tom Holland's Spider-Man has already given us 2 awesome villains. Like 2 of, I would say, maybe some of the better Spider-Man villains. In the Vulture, yeah. I think maybe top 3 at least best Spider-Man villains, maybe like top 5 best MCU villains.
He's number 1 for me.
He's the number 1 MCU villain for you?
Yeah, he's fucking. I mean,
that's crazy, but
it's incredible.
Vulture
to me, the
Vulture's
top 2
your
are
number 1.
Vulture can't be your number 1 in the entire MCU.
And Killmonger, 1, 2.
Thanos isn't even up there.
Number 3.
Killmonger is a great villain. Number 3.
Killmonger's awesome. Killmonger's deserves to be in the best, but okay. So he's definitely maybe one of the best Spider-Man. But even William Dafoe's Green Goblin, you didn't like that? That's awesome. That's so good.
Oh, I loved him. So we're talking like Spider-Man villain rankings overall. William Dafoe's Green Goblin is definitely, he's fucking iconic, dude. Like he might be, I think he is probly...
What you're saying, Christopher Topher Grace's Venom isn't your favorite Spider-Man villain?
This is what I'm building towards, is we get to build a Sinister Six hypothetically for this movie. It seems like, and the internet seems to kind of be in this direction, the Vulture and Mysterio are not going to be a part of this movie in the same way.
I don't believe that. I don't think they will.
It doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
I
that's
don't know.
happening. So we're like, the premise of this trailer is basically that Doctor Strange, which we can get into this, how this is even plausible.
Oh yeah.
How Doctor Strange is going to erase the fact that Peter Parker is Spider-Man from everybody's memory in the entire world, which is like a comic book plot that they've plucked for this movie. And that's kind of somehow reset this like multiverse. And then he's meeting these other Spider-Mans, these other Spider-Man villains. All this stuff happens. Where does that leave us with like the current timeline Spider-Man bad guys? Like, is the Vulture going to still want to come back? Is whatever they dropped the Scorpion, the Vulture, and Mysterio, like all in Tom Holland's universe. Like, what happens to those guys? Is that done? Is he going to defeat the old school Sinister Six, come back to the present and fight a new Sinister Six? I'm just saying, if the Rhino is bumping the Vulture from the Sinister Six movie, like, I don't need it. I'd rather see Michael Keaton in there mixing it up with William Dafoe is what I'd rather see.
All right. Well, I have a little, possibly some inside info on who might fill a Sinister Six slot. That is not mentioned or hinted at in the trailer whatsoever. And
if you bring Hobgoblin into this right now,
no, I think it's going to be more obvious than that. I have heard from a friend out in LA who knows that Tom Hardy's makeup artist has been working on the film. So it's very likely that we're going to see a Tom Hardy Venom in this new Spider-Man as well. And I think, and I don't know if that's the big like reveal, but I think it's going to be part of it for sure. I think he's going to fill one of the Sinister Six slots in some way. And I think, but also part of me thinks that they're just teasing us. They're making us think that we're going to get a Sinister Six or something like that. I think it's complete misdirection at this point. I really don't want to trust anything that this trailer has given us. Yeah. Well, like where like Doctor Strange, first of all, obvious. He's got to be a variant in the first half of the trailer with the suit, with the sweatshirt. There's posts on Instagram about how his hair is different. Just his hair, like they're like, oh, his hair doesn't curl in the front. It's all slicked back. That is a Doctor Strange variant.
Oh my God.
And then they also, there's a good point that people point out in the trailer is that in a lot of the clips, he's wearing the Eye of Agamotto, which was destroyed in Infinity War. So like, and in our timeline, we don't have the time stone anymore. So fuck's in that Eye of Agamotto. Like, where's that coming from?
Is a good point.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got to real quick. There's a great, like, you know, when in the trailer, Strange is like creating those multiple trains around Peter Parker. And while they're going through where the Grand Canyon, I assume, who the fuck knows, but there's like a fake post where it's like, did you notice? And it zooms in on the front of each train and it's a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man like stopping. And I really looked at it. I was like, did I fucking miss that in the trailer? I went back into the trailer and like paused it at that moment. And it was just someone like
so
fucking
funny.
around. Yeah,
God, are we gonna get evil dancing Tobey Maguire? That's my dream. If he's the sixth member of the Sinister Six.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Oh my God.
I actually, you know what? I also predict a Miles Morales live action. I'll go as far as that as well.
That's some reckless speculation. But I mean, that's one of those things where it's like they've opened the door on these possibilities. And now people want to see everything. Like the fact that you finally, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think the Spider-Man franchise is one of the most beloved franchises in movies. Like Spider-Man is a franchise. I would argue more people have seen that than Avengers. I have no numbers to back that up. But it seems like if you talk to a random person on the street that isn't necessarily into superhero movies, there's a higher chance that they've seen and really enjoyed a Spider-Man movie than seen and really enjoyed a movie outside of maybe like Iron Man. You know,
I would even argue that Spider-Man's the most popular superhero of all time between DC and Marvel. Like,
I don't know if he's the most popular of all time, but he's without a doubt the most popular Marvel character.
He's the most loved.
Like, nobody's even close to him. Wolverine is like a second maybe, but Spider-Man is like, when people think Marvel, it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like in that regard, they've opened up this door where now finally we can go back into, they've done that beautiful thing where now we're ostensibly being told those movies that we used to love, the Raimi movies, aren't wrong. They're not incorrect. They're not old and discarded and pointless. They are now woven into what Disney is considering the present and future of their movies. And it's like, it just unlocks this box of nostalgia in us, and we want to see absolutely every single piece of that explored and have it interact with the modern MCU. Same thing with like Tom Hardy's Venom. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a really beloved movie. And so people want to see Tom Hardy's Venom mix it up. Fucking Miles Morales, beloved character. Spider-Verse, such a good fucking movie. People want to see him folded into the MCU.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's Venom, the character is great. Tom Hardy's Venom, the movie, is trash. And I expect not much improvement on the second one, but I could be wrong.
I don't understand the Tom Hardy thing. It's like a what do they call that when you fall in love with your captor after being? It's like Stockholm syndrome with Tom Hardy, where I'm just like the movie's bad. I love Tom. I want it to be good. I want Tom Hardy's Venom to be good. The character doesn't make any sense. It's like a loser that was like kicked off their planet for like sucking so much, and it ended up on her. Like it's fucking stupid. The Venom movie is so dumb. I cannot wait for the Carnage movie. That's gonna be so awesome. I'm so, and you know what? If Tom Hardy showed up in this Spider-Man movie, I would lose my shit. I'd be so excited. But there's no reason why. There's no reason for us to be excited about Tom Hardy's Venom. It's like so mediocre. It's beyond mediocre. But I'd be so excited to see it. You nailed it right there, though, man. The whole vibe of Tom Hardy's Venom franchise is, God, that movie sucked. I cannot wait for the sequel. That's exactly it. I want to give him another shot.
I think that the idea of bringing all this stuff in, I think, is it's the dark side of the hype machine that's going on right now, which is that this movie has everybody so stoked. And we've talked about movies not possibly being able to live up to the hype before, right? I remember that conversation for the first Avengers. It was like, for the first Avengers, it was like, there's too many superheroes. They're never going to be able to pull this off. For Infinity War, it was like, the hype is too big. They're never going to pull this off. For Endgame, it was like, the hype is way too big now. There's no way there's a satisfying ending to this. And in all three cases, they knocked it out of the park. But now, I see, without this splitting off into its own complete separate like mega movie franchise, I see no fucking way that they can actually satisfy everybody with this and all these different theories that people have.
I mean, they're not going to satisfy the Mephisto. That's for damn sure. That's just going to keep persisting. People have been
begging for Mephisto this whole time. What are the chances that this Doctor Strange is actually Mephisto? Zero? Would you say zero?
Zero, but also 95%. That wink he gave to Peter as Wong, who's like going on vacation to the Arctic tundra, or going on vacation to Shang-Chi, was like, I'm not Stephen Strange. I'm somebody else. I'm a variant. That was some big variant energy in that moment, as far as I'm concerned.
So should we talk about Doctor Strange? The internet is abuzz with like, this is not in Doctor Strange's character to do a spell like this. And it seems incredibly risky. The trailer makes it look like he's just like, yeah, sure, I'll try it, and is winging it. And Spider-Man's fucking it up as it goes. And that's why the multiverse comes into being, where like Spider-Man is thrown through it or whatever. That I don't like at all. That sounds super lame. I can totally buy into the idea that Doctor Strange tries to cast a spell while Loki is fucking his shit up, off screen, and that the creation of that multiverse somehow affects Doctor Strange. I mean, it'd be nice to have like a tie-in like that. I don't think that'll happen. I think they're going to pretend like the movies, like the TV shows, like don't exist. Basically, I think they're just going to nod to them maybe and then like move on. I don't think watching Loki is going to be a requirement to enjoying Spider-Man.
I think it's WandaVision. I think it's Wanda, though. There's a rumor going around that Wanda is the one that's like fucking up Strange while he's making the spell. And then Multiverse of Madness, which is Strange's next movie, it's him and Wanda. Wanda's in that movie. She's going to be a main character in Multiverse.
And she's all
but
confirmed as like the bad guy in that.
More or less. And then I also read a rumor that she'll be fighting or squaring off against a major character from the Fox Marvel X-Men world, like that they're going to revive. So you could see like a Magneto or a Jean Grey or whatever like come out in that movie as well, which would be
the fuck.
Yeah. I'm
We're
telling you,
getting too
the
excited
internet
about
is
this stuff.
The internet is insane.
The internet's overhyping this. Honestly, like with Endgame, with all the Avengers movies, like if the whole gang gets together, I'm happy. Like at the end of the day, like all the Avengers, they're not the best movies, but I'm just so excited to see like Captain America and Iron Man hanging out together. If we get Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland like all fighting a menagerie of their bad guys together, I'm going to be so happy. Like that's really all they need to do for me to leave the theater like happy and satisfied, you know? I don't think this is going to spin off into anything. They're not going to do anything. Tobey Maguire is not going to be back on a full-time basis in the MCU. You know, we're going to get a taste and then he's going to be gone forever. And we're going to come back to a universe where everyone forgets that Tom Holland is Spider-Man or Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And then he has to, you know, get back together with Zendaya. His life's too good. And that's like a trope of Spider-Man is that Peter Parker's life always sucks. And so now if this is his problem, everyone knows who I am. He's going to have a huge problem when nobody knows who he is. That's just the character. The character is constantly miserable.
Oh my God, including the Avengers.
Fighting an uphill battle.
That's so funny.
He has no link to Tony Stark
Avengers
anymore.
don't remember him. Doctor Strange doesn't remember him. Like, I think that's really what happens in the comic books is they just straight up erase his memory from everyone. And he has to be reintroduced. I think Mary Jane gets it, like remembers that he's Spider-Man, but then she dumps him because he lied to her or something like that, you know? So like this guy's going to lose everything at the end of this movie. This is going to be a depressing ending to this movie. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like what if Zendaya's MJ forgets, but Kirsten Dunst's MJ remembers and gets stuck in his universe?
Kirsten Dunst replaces Zendaya. Dude, the internet would lose its shit if you whitewashed the Mary Jane role with
Kirsten Dunst is like 15 years older than Tom Holland at this point. Just like,
oh my God.
Oh man, that's so funny. Okay, I think the question I was getting at before that I would love your opinions on is if we're building out the Sinister Six from Spider-Man, Venom, whatever, who's in your Sinister Six?
I mean, based on the MCU or based on like comics?
For this movie, if you want to see the Sinister Six in this movie, you can take the bad guys from anywhere, but it's Spider-Man's bad guys. It's the Sinister Six. Who are you putting in the Sinister Six?
Interesting.
I don't care about the Lizard.
Definitely fuck the Lizard.
Dude, the Lizard's the best Andrew Garfield bad guy for sure. I take him over Electrode any day.
I'm sorry.
The Lizard's awesome.
The Andrew Garfield movies were unfortunate, but but I think Jamie Foxx's character, they like showed there's like a screenshot of him and he's like, they totally revamped.
Yeah, but fuck that. Who would you want? If you're casting the Sinister Six and you want it from this movie, who are you grabbing?
Well, Green Goblin, number one, for sure. Venom,
Green Goblin and Doc Ock like have to be in there, it seems like.
Yeah.
Green Goblin and Doc Ock. I think Vulture's too close to Green Goblin. They're like almost the same character, like in terms of the way they are presented as a villain. Like they fly, they throw shit, they're using technology. I mean the motivations are a little different, but so I'm still leaving Vulture out.
Interesting.
I thought this would be a great conversation starter, but now you're just fucking it up. You're leaving the Vulture out. Then like, why are you even doing this? Why even do the Sinister Six if the Vulture isn't going to be there? Vulture's awesome. His motivations are definitely different enough from William Dafoe.
Yeah. Okay.
I want Sandman there.
Yeah,
I definitely want Sandman there.
Why Sandman?
I think Sandman got a bad rap just by being in Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 sucked. Sandman was maybe the best part of it. Like, I really like Thomas Hayden Church in that role.
So we should get Sandman and Rhino together and they can do a sideways Sandman and Rhino.
That would be fucking Sandman and Rhino just talking about Merlot.
Yeah,
would be incredible. I want Rhino in it, by the way. I liked Paul Giamatti's Rhino.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti. First of all, Paul Giamatti is a fantastic actor. This can do no wrong.
He's great.
Yeah, Sandman and Rhino talking about Merlot in the hills in the Sonoma Valley.
Oh my God.
In full costume.
I'm just going to cut out like the first 10 minutes of that movie when you see Thomas Hayden Church picking up Paul Giamatti from his house. And I'm just going to pretend that the movie Sideways is both of them on the run. Just trying to make the best of it with fake identities.
Yeah, they're like leaving
That's
their
headcanon for me now.
behind. Yeah. They've escaped.
Okay. Here's
All right, who's your
another
Sinister
question.
Six? Wait, Tim,
Here's
who's
another
in your
question I want
Sinister
to.
Six?
I mean, I think I would have to go Vulture, Doc Ock, Green Goblin. Those are pretty easy. Then like the last three, I like the Lizard a lot. I think the Lizard would be cool. If we bring in like Tom Hardy's Venom, that'd be sweet.
Mhm.
And then the last one, I mean, that could be Mysterio. I guess I'm not really sure. And the last guy would be like Sandman or something like that, or Rhino or somebody. Probably kind of leaning towards Sandman, just to have like a bigger, like kind of like more supernatural villain, you know? Since like most of those other guys are like very tech oriented, they all feel like very modern, but like we need the guys who are just like fucking mutants, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, just forces of nature.
I really just want to see the Vulture interact with William Dafoe. I think that's like all I want. I just
Well,
really want the Vulture to be in this movie. Is that too
Michael
much
Keaton
to
and
ask?
Willem Dafoe would be pretty fantastic. That's quite
Oh my
fair.
God. It'd be so good. I want at least somebody from each storyline to interact. Mysterio's cool, but like I want Michael Keaton in this movie so bad. I want him like, you know, fucking stuff up with the guys. It's going to be awesome.
We got a few minutes left on this. I just want to know some reckless speculation that everybody has. I have a couple of things where it's like I have absolutely no reason to believe that this is going to happen in this movie. We've already seen in the trailer that debatably too much shit is already happening in this movie. But I have two things that I really want to see happen. I kind of want to know if you guys have similar things. The two things I want are, for some reason, I have a feeling that we are going to see at some point, whether it's in this movie or Multiverse of Madness. I just have a feeling that we're going to see a variant of Doctor Strange played by Nick Cage. I feel like for some reason the Tobey Maguire Doctor Strange is Nick Cage.
Oh, I just got hard. Holy shit.
Nobody has ever given me any reason to think this, but I just have the feeling.
What about Ben Affleck? Have you seen the Ben Affleck Doctor Strange meme? You know, when he's doing that one where he's just exhausted with the cigarette. Ben Affleck is Doctor Strange. I'd mark out for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That Nicolas Cage is Doctor Strange. That's what he just plays his Sorcerer's Apprentice character.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Doctor Strange. Oh boy, that's melt. You know that at some point Nick Cage is going to be in the MCU. I mean, how can they, at the rate that we're expanding the MCU,
he is.
like
Ghost Rider.
But yeah, okay. But that was Ghost Rider was Fox property, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not a Marvel property.
No, but
he's
not going to they're not going to bring Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider. I never liked him as Ghost Rider. Honestly.
I don't know, man. He loves Ghost Rider. He had to have a tattoo of Ghost Rider digitally removed from his forearm for the filming of Ghost Rider. He's been a huge fan of Ghost Rider since before he was even cast.
Dude, that's what I want. Fair. I want Nick Cage as Ghost Rider in this movie. If he isn't, now I will be devastated.
Oh, man. Okay. Well,
what was your other reckless speculation?
My other piece is, and this is more of a wish list than anything, I want live action Jake Johnson Spider-Man so fucking bad. Fucking bad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
His Peter Parker's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's the sum of all of like the tropes of Spider-Man that Tim was talking about earlier, like the shitty life that never works out. And like that was the character in his late 20s, basically. It was a great character in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I want Jake Johnson to show up live action Spider-Man, Peter Parker, but also to heavily imply that it's the same Jake Johnson character from New Girl. And just like that while New Girl was happening, he was also fighting crime as Spider-Man in California. That's what I want.
I want Spider-Ham, but animated in the movie. John Mulaney's Spider-Ham, just literally putting the hammer down onto like the lizard or some shit. No,
on Instagram I saw allegedly that was pitched as a post-credit scene.
Wow.
And they thought it was too far. Sony thought it was too far. I don't know. Believe it or not.
Sony thought it was.
What do you
too
guys
far.
want? What's your reckless speculation?
Well, mine, I think I stated earlier, was Miles Morales live action. I think that's
Word.
pretty. I've obviously not even remotely hinted at in the trailer, but the theory is that everyone is going to be in this movie, and like I think if you can think of it related to the universe, like they'll be in it. So I think that it'll be like it'll be like Spider-Man Civil War, honestly. Like, so I don't know. I would say, yeah, I would go with Miles. It's my reckless speculation.
Maybe this is taking us down a different path, but I love Miles Morales. I think he's awesome. I was going to ask you guys who your favorite Spider-Man is, because Tom Holland might be mine. He's so good. I want to see him do Spider-Man forever. And I don't see how you can have Tom Holland playing Spider-Man and also Miles Morales like existing in the MCU. It just like doesn't make sense to have two Spider-Mans. So maybe this is our only glimpse at Spider-Man, at Miles Morales. Maybe they're keeping Miles Morales in the chamber in case they like kill off Tom Holland or something like that. Like, I don't know. I'm really fascinated to see how they introduce Miles Morales, because it seems like a crazy idea not to have him somewhere. But maybe that's just like the fourth Spider-Man we get. Yeah,
it's possible. I mean, I would agree with you. I think Tom Holland's fantastic at Spider-Man. I think he like embodies the role really nicely. Like he accepts he doesn't shy away from the publicity of it all necessarily. I feel like it was tough for Andrew Garfield. Like, I think he did Spider-Man and was like, but also not like, he wasn't living Spider-Man like Tom Holland is. Mm-hmm. And for Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire was great because he was the first Spider-Man, but 3 was a fucking train wreck and kind of sullied, I think, Tobey for a lot of people. But I think Tom also embodies the youngest version of Spider-Man in the movies that we see. Like Tobey and Andrew Garfield always looked like 25-year-olds playing a 15-year-old. And Tom Holland actually looked like a teenager in the first movie.
And that's kind of who Spider-Man is. Like in the comics, he's in high school for like a couple comic books and then he's done. But like Tom Holland's just been in high school this whole time. I think that's an interesting take and interpretation of Spider-Man. I mean, I love it. But yeah, they just immediately went to like early 20s, like Spider-Man, just like being miserable at his job, taking pictures for J. Jonah Jameson and stuff. He's definitely going to be in this movie, by the way. There's no way he's not.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because they like reformed the character instead of him being like the head of the Daily Bugle. He's more like a fucking, oh shit. Alex Jones. Yes. He's more like an Alex Jones.
Have we gone like a Gwen Stacy? We haven't got a Gwen Stacy in like Tom Holland's universe, have we?
No, we have not.
Well, that might be interesting. Just throwing it out there. Might be interesting.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. He's like Emma Stone's going to come, like zombie Emma Stone. Gwen Stacy
Emma Stone comes back.
Oh my God.
Well, I feel like Gwen Stacy is like the love of Peter Parker's life. And then she dies and then he falls in love with Mary Jane. So the train might have already sailed on that. But I don't know if at the end of this movie Zendaya doesn't remember him and he bumps into Gwen Stacy. I don't know. That could be something.
Haley Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy.
Dude, Haley Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy would be awesome. I'm here for it. Okay. Anything else before we wrap it up, before our Zoom gets cut off?
Did anyone have anything from the trailer that they were like, that caught my eye, or that was something that I was unsure about? Real quick, I'll say, whatever the box is that Parker is holding when Strange hits his, punches his astral body out of him, there's all these theories on the internet about what's in that box. And
it's just Brad Pitt's wife's head.
That's what I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say
that. Wait, you were saying it's Gwyneth Paltrow? You're saying it's
the head of Pepper Potts.
It's
Jesus
Pepper Potts'
Christ.
God.
Oh, that's good.
That's amazing.
That's the most literal headcanon of all.
Yeah.
There it is.
Pepper Potts' head is in Doctor Strange's box.
There it is. Spencer, thank you so much for joining us, man. This is good.
Pleasure.
A pleasure as always.
Great pod. And if you're listening to this, let us know what you thought. Maybe we'll do more kind of one-off trailer pods, just random talkbacks on random shit as opposed to forcing you to watch a movie. Watching a trailer, that's way more fun. Way less time consuming.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Stay nerdy.